What if everything you thought you knew about love in Bridgerton is about to change in the next season? Not just new romance, not just new faces, but a shift that will shake the entire world of the Ton in a way no one is ready for. Secrets are no longer staying hidden behind closed doors. Old rules are breaking, and the perfect world of high society is starting to show cracks that cannot be ignored. Season 4 is not just continuing a story. It feels like it is building a new one from the ground up. Every smile in the ballroom may hide a lie, every glance may carry a warning, and every love story may come with a price no one expected. The question is not who will fall in love this time. The real question is who will survive what love brings with it. Because in this world, love is never simple. It always comes with chaos, sacrifice, and consequences that echo far beyond to Heart's asterisk. After everything that happened in the previous season, the world of Bridgerton does not feel the same anymore. The Ton is still shining on the outside, but inside, something has changed. People are more careful with their words, more aware of who is watching, and more afraid of becoming the next topic of scandal. Families that once felt safe now feel pressure to protect their name at any cost. Even the smallest mistake can turn into a story that spreads everywhere in just a few hours. This new atmosphere creates tension in every room, in every gathering, and even in every quiet conversation behind closed doors. At the same time, the idea of love is also shifting. It is no longer just about romance or marriage. It is about power, reputation, and survival. People are starting to realize that falling in love is not just a personal choice. It can change the future of an entire family. Some characters begin to question whether love is worth the risk, while others feel drawn to it even more strongly, as if they cannot escape it no matter how hard they try. This emotional conflict is what makes the world feel even more intense and unpredictable. The city itself feels like it is holding its breath. Every event, every ball, and every meeting carries hidden meaning. Nothing feels casual anymore. Even a simple look between two people can spark rumors that travel faster than truth. In this environment, trust becomes rare and fragile. People start to hide their real feelings behind polite smiles. But inside, they are constantly wondering who they can truly rely on, and as this tension grows, it quietly sets the stage for something much bigger. Because when a world becomes this controlled, this emotional, and this fragile, even the smallest spark can turn into a fire that changes everything forever. Asterisk after the storm of emotions and scandals fro. And the previous chapter of Bridgerton, the world of the Ton is trying hard to pretend that everything is normal again. The carriages still move through the streets, the grand houses still open their doors for elegant gatherings, and the music still plays at every evening ball. But underneath all this beauty, there is a strange silence. It is the kind of silence that happens after trust has been broken, when people are smiling but no longer fully believing in each other. Everyone is watching, everyone is judging, and no one feels completely safe anymore. In Season 4, this quiet tension becomes even stronger because the past is no longer something people can ignore. Old secrets are not buried anymore. They are remembered, whispered, and sometimes even used as weapons. Families that once stood proud now feel the weight of their history pressing on them. One wrong move can bring back everything they tried to hide. This makes every interaction feel more serious than before. Even simple conversations at dinner tables carry hidden meaning, as if every word might later be repeated in a different form by gossip across the city. The younger generation of the Ton begins to feel this pressure in a deeper way. They are expected to behave perfectly, to protect family names, and to follow rules that they did not create. But at the same time, they are starting to question those rules. They see love differently now. It is not just a duty or an arrangement. It is something that feels urgent, emotional, and sometimes even dangerous. This clash between old expectations and new desires creates a quiet rebellion that does not always show on the surface, but burns strongly underneath as the world tries to hold itself together. it becomes clear that Season 4 is not just about romance, it is about a society trying to survive its own image. The more people pretend everything is fine, the more fragile everything becomes. And in this fragile balance, even the smallest secret or the softest confession can shift everything in a direction no one is prepared for. At the center of Season 4, something begins to shift in a way that feels impossible to ignore. Love is no longer just a gentle story playing in the background of society. It becomes the main force pulling every character into choices they cannot easily escape. This time, romance does not feel safe or predictable. It feels uncertain, intense, and deeply connected to consequences that reach far beyond. To people, a new love story slowly starts to take shape, but it does not follow the same pattern as before. It is not built on simple attraction or polite courtship. Instead, it grows from tension, misunderstanding, and moments that feel both right and wrong at the same time. The connection between the two people at the center of this story is not easy. It challenges everything they believe about themselves, their families, and the world they live in. Every step closer to each other also feels like a step away from the life they were expected to live. What makes this new focus so powerful is the emotional pressure surrounding it. Love is no longer hidden in quiet corners or secret meetings alone. It now exists in a world where every feeling has a risk attached to it. One wrong decision can damage reputations. One public moment can change futures. This makes every interaction heavier, every glance more meaningful, and every silence more painful than words. Story begins to explore how far people are willing to go when their hearts are pulled in a direction that society does not approve of. Some characters try to resist what they feel, believing that duty must come first. Others surrender to emotion, even when they know it could destroy everything they have built. This internal battle becomes the true heart of Season 4. It is no longer just about finding love. It is about surviving. And as this new romance grows stronger, it quietly changes the balance of everything around it. Friendships are tested. Family loyalties become unclear. Even long-standing rules of the ton start to feel weaker than before. Because once real emotion enters a place built on appearance and control, nothing can stay the same for long. Beneath the glittering surface of the ton, where every smile is practiced and every bow is perfectly timed, something far less beautiful is taking shape. Season 4 begins to reveal that behind all the elegance, there are secrets that people have carried for far too long. And now, those secrets are no longer staying buried in silence. They are starting to move, breathe, and slowly find their way into the open. What makes this world so dangerous is not what people show, but what they hide. Every family has something they do not want spoken aloud. A past mistake, a hidden romance, a broken promise, or a truth that could destroy their standing in society. In Season 4, these hidden pieces of the past start to rise again, not all at once, but slowly, like cracks forming in glass that everyone pretended was strong. At first, it seems small. A rumor here, a strange comment there, but soon it becomes clear that nothing is truly safe anymore. Power inside the ton is not only about titles or wealth. It is about information. Who knows what, who can use it, and who can destroy someone else with a single whispered truth. This turns everyday conversations into quiet battles. A polite sentence can carry hidden meaning. A compliment can be a warning. Even silence can feel like a threat. People begin to realize that they are always being watched, even when no one is speaking directly to them. At the same time, betrayal starts to feel closer than ever. Not always in loud or dramatic ways, but in small choices that slowly change everything. A trusted friend might reveal something in the wrong moment. A family member might choose ambition over loyalty. Even love, as strong as it feels, can become a tool for manipulation in the wrong hands. This creates an atmosphere where no one can fully relax, because trust itself has become fragile. And as these secrets and silent conflicts grow, they start to connect with the larger emotional story of the season. It becomes clear that the real danger in the ton is not just scandal or gossip. It is the truth finally coming out after being hidden for too long. And when that truth begins to surface, it does not just affect one person. It shakes the entire world. They all thought they understood as season 4 moves forward. The people we already know are no longer the same versions of themselves. Time, heartbreak, and past choices have left marks on them that cannot be ignored. The familiar faces of the ton are still present, but something about their energy feels different now. They carry more weight in their eyes, more hesitation in their words, and more hidden thoughts behind every polite, smilesome characters begin to step into a stronger version of themselves. They are no longer simply reacting to the world around them. Instead, they are starting to make decisions that shape their own paths. Even if those decisions come with risk, this growth does not happen in a straight line. It comes with confusion, regret, and moments of doubt. But it also shows that they are no longer willing to remain silent or controlled by the expectations of others at the same time. Other characters begin to struggle with the consequences of their past actions, choices that once seemed small or harmless now return in unexpected ways. Relationships that once felt secure begin to feel uncertain. Trust is tested again, and not everyone handles it the same way. Some try to repair what was broken, while others slowly pull away, afraid of facing what has changed between them. There is also a quiet shift in status within the ton. The social balance that once felt stable is no longer guaranteed. Certain families begin to lose influence while others rise in unexpected ways. Reputation becomes more fragile than ever, and even long-standing names are no longer protected from change. This creates a sense of instability that touches everyone, even those who try to stay above the drama. What makes these returning characters so important in Season 4 is not just where they are, but how much they have changed on the inside. Their new emotions, their hidden fears, and their growing desires all begin to influence the larger story in ways they cannot control. And as their personal journeys continue, they slowly become part of something much bigger than themselves, where every choice carries weight not just for one life, but for the entire world they belong to. Just when the world of the ton begins to feel familiar again, new faces arrive, and nothing stays predictable for long. Season 4 introduces fresh characters who do not simply blend into society, but quietly disrupt it from the moment they appear. They carry different energy, different intentions, and in many cases, different rules for how they believe the world should work, and that alone is enough to shake the balance that others have spent years trying to maintain. These new characters are not just background additions. They step into the story with presence, as if they already understand the hidden tensions that exist beneath the surface. Some arrive with charm and confidence, quickly drawing attention in every room they enter. Others are more quiet, but their silence feels intentional, as if they are watching and learning before making their move. In both cases, they do not remain unnoticed for long. What makes their arrival so powerful is the way they interact with existing relationships. They do not just create new romance possibilities. They challenge old ones. Bonds that once felt secure begin to feel uncertain when new energy enters the space. Loyalties are questioned. Attraction becomes complicated. Even long-standing emotional connections begin to shift in unexpected directions. Some of these new figures bring ambition with them. They are not afraid of the ton's rules, and in some cases, they seem determined to bend or even break them. Others carry mystery, hiding parts of their past that slowly begin to surface as the story unfolds. This combination of confidence and secrecy makes them unpredictable. And unpredictability is something the ton has never handled well. As they become more involved in the lives of established characters, it becomes clear that they are not just visitors in this world. They are catalysts. Every conversation they enter changes the direction of the story slightly. Every connection they form adds pressure to an already fragile system. And as their influence grows, the ton begins to realize that change is no longer something coming in the future. It is already here, and it has a face they are still trying to understand. As everything in Season 4 begins to come together, it becomes clear that this story is not only about love, society, or even scandal. At its deepest level, it is about emotion in its most fragile form. Love is no longer presented as something soft or simple. It is shown as something powerful enough to lift people up, but also strong enough to break them completely. This season pushes every character into a place where they must choose between what they want and what they are expected to do. Duty stands on one side, pulling them toward tradition, family, and reputation. Desire stands on the other side, pulling them toward truth, passion, and personal happiness. And neither side feels safe. No matter which path they choose, something important will be lost. Heartbreak becomes a constant presence in this world, not always loud or dramatic, but quiet and deeply emotional. It appears in moments where words are not spoken, in looks that last too long, and in goodbyes that are not fully said. Characters begin to realize that love does not always end in happiness. Sometimes it ends in silence, distance, or sacrifice that no one else understands. At the same time, emotional pressure builds beneath the surface of every relationship. Even the strongest bonds begin to feel tested. Misunderstandings grow more intense, trust becomes harder to maintain, and feelings that once felt clear begin to blur into confusion. This creates a sense that nothing is fully stable anymore, not relationships, not families, and not even identity. What makes this season feel darker and more intense is that there are no simple answers anymore. Every decision comes with a cost. Every choice changes something that cannot be taken back. And as the emotional weight increases, the world of Bridgerton starts to feel less like a fairy tale and more like a mirror reflecting the reality of human emotion.